Hey folks, I just thought I'd do a quick rundown of everything important from DBD's latest livestream event in Montreal, just in case you missed some things and want to know all the details without having to watch the entire event. So let's get into it. Starting off, we have an announcement of a Dead by Daylight movie that the script is already written for, and they'll begin shooting it next year. This is being produced by none other than Blumhouse, who you may know from overseeing movies like The Conjuring, Paranormal Activity and The Purge, so we'll just see what they have in store for us. Now the person that Blumhouse have decided to direct the movie is a guy called Toda Paulson, whose work I haven't seen much of, but according to Jason Blum, he has a deep understanding for the source material and is making the movie with the fans of DBD in mind. Now next up on the agenda we have news for our new upcoming survivor Shane Wigwas, our first indigenous character, whose trailer I will play for you now.
Some truths are better left alone. Buried for a reason, or hiding in plain sight. But sometimes, all the truth needs is someone to come looking for it. I thought I was hunting answers in the dark. Maybe the dark was hunting me.
Well, lie to you, I really like the look of this guy. He reminds me of Nightwolf from Mortal Kombat, and he was one of my favourite characters in the game, so I'm looking forward to getting him. With eerie shards, of course. This character will be set to release on June 25th and comes with his own voice lines, and they are spoken by an actor named Dallas Goldtooth, who you may not know unless you've seen Reservation Dogs, but you may know him from this meme.
William Knife Man.
Now moving on, June to July marks the first iteration of our new anniversary event called the Black Banquet. Finally, we're getting a new game mode, in which it'll be all centered around food with 2 courses taking place in the trial. We don't know all the details yet, but we can assume that survivors have to gather or eat food for certain bonuses to work towards an objective, or the killers have to taint or poison the food to hinder their progress. I'm going to put the 2 trailers now in just in case you're interested in watching.
Remember, it started with a game. And we all play in the dark. It's a ritual, a grand spectacle. Then we celebrate. And celebrate. And celebrate. Until someone wins. And tonight, it's you. And now you're here. You hunted. You survived. And we celebrate you. You are the game.
On August 25th, we have what was a surprise to me being received so early is the Grimoire chapter, with our fan collaborated efforts coming to fruition. I know a lot of us are excited to see how this chapter and what the killer's power is going to look like. I'm personally looking forward to seeing how the exile mechanic is going to play in game. We have more modifier events coming throughout the year to help keep us entertained while we wait for huge changes and features that are coming. So expect to see 2v8 in September, Haunted by Daylight in November, and Bone Chill in December to help see us through the coming months. However, we can especially be excited towards the end of the year, as in November, You'll have probably heard by now, but we're getting a licensed character that maybe a lot of hardcore fans are expecting. And here he is. Yes, we are getting yet another clown in the fog, and I don't know much about the Terrifier IP if I'm honest, so it'll be interesting to see what they'll do with this guy, considering all I really know about him, that he's the clown that brutally tortures people. Now December marks the release of a new map that is the most highly requested by our fans, and that is a mall, a brand new realm connected to the traumatic past of none other than Dwight Fairfield, with a focus on verticality and liminal spaces. Hopefully they keep accessibility for killers in mind with this map design, as I'm sure it will look visually stunning, but just like Trickster's Delusion, it doesn't play all that well, and even for survivors there's not much looping to do, it's just running from one filler tile to the next, so please behaviour, lock the fuck in. Now in March of next year they've gone against their word of just adding him as a mask for the Trapper and decided to make him a killer instead, so we can officially be ready to welcome Frank Stone into the fog with a full chapter. Now, I didn't play the game or know much about him, so if anyone in the comments would like to enlighten me, please do. Hopefully he's fun to play as and against, because his character design, frankly, is awesome. Now April of next year is a bit of a mystery as we're getting a new survivor, but since this is so far into the future and they don't want to reveal all their cards, they're going to keep it under wraps for now. But I just thought it was worth mentioning. Now that pretty much brings us up to speed chronologically for the upcoming roadmap, so let's move on to some other notable announcements made in the rest of the livestream. Now I know there's a lot of you that don't really care about cosmetics, but for those that do, I just thought I'd mention all the upcoming collabs that are coming to the game. So skip to this timestamp if you don't give a shit. Okay. Here we go. We have an Iron Maiden skin for the Huntress to celebrate 50 years of Iron Maiden. The band Ice9 Kills are collabing with outfits for Jeff, Kate and V. 2 new legendary skins for Rick Grimes with none other than Glenn and Negan, with interactive voice lines just like our other Walking Dead characters. A new Silent Hill collection, which I will play the trailer for now. We also have a Diablo collab with Lilith as an artist skin, with more skins in development, and the collab that absolutely nobody saw coming, Scooby-fucking-Doo of all things. They could only show us this concept art of Dwight in a Scooby-Doo onesie, but I'm sure we'll be getting the whole gang soon, and I think that's genuinely hilarious. We also have our Black Banquet collection with skins for Legion, Doctor and Trapper, as well as some Survivor skins for Dwight, Kate and Claudette, plus many other skins that are coming in the future. Now, what I'm about to talk about next is very early in development, and we'll probably be seeing it in the latter half of next year, but I think it'll just let the devs take it from here and explain all the new and exciting changes that you can expect.
So today, first thing is, we are going to share things much earlier than we usually do. This will be an ambitious update, probably the biggest in the history of the game. It will release more than a year from now, so it is early. Why are we talking about it now? Because we wanted to be transparent about the direction we are taking, in order for all of you to be able to react positively or negatively, and to share your concerns if you have any. One thing to note as well is that this update that we're going to talk about is being worked on by a dedicated team working hand in hand with the core team. So we are not going to slow down the content and the features and the experiences that you are going to have on Dead by Daylight.
We want to create a world that is looking amazing, that push the horror further. We want to push the look and feel. We want to make it more immersive. So what we're looking into is not just an evolution of, it's not just a coat of paint. It's also making the trials of Dead by Daylight something even more interesting, to a level that you never felt before in our game. So, here's a quick breakdown of what we're focusing on right now, okay? So, I'm not sure when the assets are going to come here. It's some work in progress. So, we start with new character model. We will be reworking the faces of our characters so that they are modern. We are also redoing the hair. Yeah, look at that. The team's taking great effort so that no matter how we evolve these characters, you will recognize the character you love. What you don't see is that underneath that beautiful skin and flesh, there are bones, and we can animate now the characters in ways we couldn't before. So what you've seen here are what we want to do with the facial animations of our character, so that we really feel the emotion they're living, the pain they're going through.
Something we want to do, and we have wanted to do for as long as we can remember, really, is to give you tools to be able to create new things. So, in addition to the visual updates, we will officially be opening up Dead by Daylight to what we call sandbox modding. So we are currently working on a suite of tools, modding tools, that we are going to put in your hands in the same update in 2027. Naturally, there will be some rules and restrictions to follow that we will share details on soon, but we cannot wait to see you create new maps, new modes, and everything in between that you will create for each other. And of course, in addition to the sandbox modding, we of course want to keep adding new experiences ourselves. So, the first one, early 27, will be a brand new 1v1 experience for Dead by Daylight. So, it is really the classic slasher formula, no perks, no items, just pure killer and survival thrill gameplay inspired by the competitive scene of DBD. Matches will be best of 3, with players getting to play each role within a round, and the scoring will be based on how long they survive. It's fast, it's intense, and the early feedback we got on playtest has been really positive.
It's finally this symmetrical version of the famous symmetrical horror game you love. We want to create all of these new modes for you. And one thing that is in R&D all the time and that we're exploring is ways to offer horror scenarios that the 4v1 format doesn't allow us to do. So when we imagine horror movies, sometimes it just doesn't fit that mold. So there's tons of that, but the one that we're really excited about right now, still in prototype, and we want to show it to you today in a very, very, very early stage. You're going to see it's not even in the game engine right now, is a zombie scenario, zombie mode. So I'm going to explain quickly what's happening here. So it's still a 4v1 zombie horde that are bots going around the levels. The objective for the survivor is not to repair a gen, but it's to create vaccines and to become hunters of zombies. They have to stealthily or in a group, kiting zombies, go and stab them in the back with the vaccine to cure them. Of course, the zombies can bite and they can become, survivor can become zombies. So that's also pretty interesting. As a survivor that's a zombie, there's some actions you can do. The DBD twist here is that, of course, there's a killer around as well. The killer's objective is not to kill and put on hook anymore. It is to transform every survivor in zombies. They can use their power, whatever it is, to infect them further. And then they can also help the zombies by guiding them around so that they infect survivors faster. So it's been a pretty interesting one to test.
Yes. Is that what you have seen today is only the tip of the iceberg of a multi-year evolution of essentially every part of the game. So you can expect topics like onboarding, progression, meta evolution, balancing, quality of life to be discussed more during the year.
Now, I'm sure you have a lot of questions about a lot of the stuff that we've talked about today. We will cover more of this in the next month in a full live stream dedicated to the future of Dead by Daylight specifically, so make sure to follow our channels for those details.
Of course, there's not just the characters that the team is working on. We want also this graphical update to be for the world, so that we reinforce the immersion, so that the realms look more realistic than before, more immersive, more scary. So let's have a look. We have some stills from maps we're working on right now. Ooh. You've seen it's going to look better ambience, but the really, really cool thing is that it goes beyond that coat of paint, right? It is introducing new mechanics. So we are proud to say that we are working on a dynamic weather system. And here's a sneak peek of it. Yeah, there we go.
It is part of a much larger project for Dead by Daylight. We're launching a long-term initiative to retroactively add voice lines to a wide range of our original characters that didn't have that. So we'll be able to bring their personalities to life in a whole new way.
So there you go, that was all the notable information compiled into a smaller segment just for time purposes' sake, let's say. They've announced so much, and yet that isn't everything they have to offer. I think the future of Dead by Daylight looks somewhat promising, and it's clear they are looking ahead, but hopefully that is not at the cost of the game as it stands now. We will learn more details in another upcoming live stream to hopefully discuss more quality of life improvements and the steady progress towards a healthier game. That's all I have for you today. Like the video if you found any of this information helpful, and subscribe if you don't want to miss any content in the future. Alright folks, take care, and have a good one.